Welcome to the Wealth Matters podcast, where investors come together to better understand how to build passive cash flow and create generational wealth without all the confusing mumbo-jumbo. Here's your host and co-author of Amazon #1 bestseller, Alpesh Parmar.
Welcome to the Monday section of Wealth Matters podcast. Hope all of you are doing great. I know from investment perspective, a lot of us are struggling, especially stock market is off its all-time high. Actually, some of the stocks have been clobbered and they are down by 40 to 60, 70%. Cryptos are just in last week were down by 25%, and especially USD and Luna, as I mentioned in my video earlier from last week, messed up the market even badly. Luna was one of my favorite coin, but some of the things you can control, and I've spoken about what happened with USD and Luna in that video. So I know the market is not cooperating, right? But hang in there. Don't catch a falling knife. I did that with Luna as well, but just wait and wait for a bit. Make sure the market is stabilizing. I think it's going to take a while. Again, it's my personal opinion that we are going to get into the bear market in crypto and stocks. So that's why I recommend everyone diversify using real estate and other alternative assets, right? So stocks, they are liquid, they are volatile. Cryptos, again, liquid and volatile. You also want to get into illiquid investments like real estate, which is not easy to buy and sell, right? You can't go on Zillow and see, oh, your property value has gone up by a lot next day and you just try to sell it, right? You can't. Same way, art, collectibles, a lot of those things, alternative investments, they keep their value, right? And hopefully, like real estate, they also generate income for you. So today I do want to talk about Bitcoin again, because as you guys know, we run huge Bitcoin mining operation, and a lot of you have invested with me, and I've heard from a lot of you that what's going on. So let's talk about Bitcoin overall. And of course, whenever we talk about Bitcoin, it also applies to the pretty much general crypto market, right? So people are liquidating right now crypto portfolio due to temporary bad news, right? Since hitting its all-time high of nearly 70 grand in November of last year, Bitcoin plunged to as low as 26,900 last week. That's an ugly 62% drop. I know it's painful, but look at the bigger picture. You'll see this drop is one small scratch on a long-term trajectory. Despite numerous annual drawdowns, Bitcoin is up 538,000% since 2011. I didn't say 538%, I said 538,000%. So, and in 2011, Bitcoin went down by 92%. 2012, it went down by 39. 2013, it went in between, went down by 70%. 2014, it was 69%. 2015, it was 42%. 2016, about 25% during the year. Then again, 2017, it was 36%. 2018, it was 81%. That's the worst I have seen. 2019, 48%. 2020, it also went from 20,000 to 4,000 and came back up, so about 53%. And 2021 even, it went back down about 53%, right? Remember, it went to 65, went back down to 29-ish, and came back up to 68, 69,000, right? So why is Bitcoin dropping now? As you know, the Federal Reserve is terrified about inflation. So it's raising rates to rein in rising prices. When interest rates rise, risk on investments like growth stocks drop. That's a major reason the Nasdaq is down 25% since the beginning of the year, and actually it's down about 30% now. Right now, investors are correlating Bitcoins to tech stocks. And since the market views Bitcoin as a high-risk asset, it's moving in tandem with the Nasdaq. Is Bitcoin related to tech stock? Tech stocks, I don't believe so. It's a different assets class, but right now that's how investors, retail, as well as institutional investors are seeing Bitcoin. But adoption story is still there, right? Over the years, I have seen that you can't just look at price as the solo barometer of long-term value in an asset class. You have to look at the overall story. So a lot of things are happening even right now with Bitcoin, and crypto.com estimated there are 200 million people who use crypto assets. By the end of this decade, I think it would be over 2 to 3 billion people who will be using Bitcoin. And this isn't just wild guess, right? Just last month, and this was a good news and nothing happened, Fidelity announced it would allow individuals to put Bitcoin in their 401k investment plans. Now think about this. Fidelity is the largest US retirement plan provider, period, right? About 23,000 companies use its retirement plans. And it has more than $11 trillion in asset under management. So that's crazy. I think if Fidelity actually starts opening up and a lot of companies allow their employees to invest in Bitcoins or cryptos, that would be crazy. Right now, millennials make up about 22% of the population, and Gen Z makes up 20%. They combine will eventually account for nearly 50% of the workforce, right? So Fidelity's new Bitcoin retirement product alone will onboard millions of new investors in the coming years. Right now, Bitcoin's market cap is over 500 billion. That's insanely cheap relative to where the research I have been reading tells me, right? Once Bitcoin becomes a widely held investment asset and millions of workers added to their retirement portfolios, we could see BTC eclipse gold's market cap of $11.5 trillion. And right now it's at around 500 billion. Even if it reaches over, again, it had reached a trillion already. I think if it reaches 5 trillion, that would be just crazy. That itself means that Bitcoin would be around $300,000, right? So 1,000% move from today's level, even more than 1,000%. So that's why I think hang tight. If you are investing in Bitcoin, this may be a good time to keep watching. I think two price levels: one buy it at $28,000 range, and other buy it at $22,000 range. If we hit that, I think I think the bar is around 25,000, but you never know. None of us can predict the future, right? So keep watching the market. Don't forget about the importance of diversifying, right? So like I made the mistake of buying Luna when it was dropping, but again, I diversify even in crypto world. So I'm not worried. And I love, Bitcoin, right? But Bitcoin mining is a great arbitrage for investing in Bitcoin. Let's say, if I would have just bought Bitcoin when we started mining last year, I would have paid 50,000, 65,000, and I would be literally crying right now because I would have to wait for Bitcoin to go up by 100% to even break even, right? Instead, I'm getting my predictable cash flow. Our Bitcoin mining operation has been providing between 2 to 9% monthly, depending on, of course, the Bitcoin price, the cost of utilities, and the hash rate, right? So I just love that Bitcoin is a good long-term investment, and then marrying it with Bitcoin mining it's just amazing. We have mined a total of 48 Bitcoin over 4 different funds just last month, right? So I just want to mine more and more and start paying out my investors. That's what I believe in. And even if Bitcoin went to 30,000, we still provided cash flow to our investors, right? So I believe in the long-term trajectory of Bitcoin, and my thesis remains unaltered. Bitcoin will continue to be correlated to the equity market for near term. So just be careful, it will be volatile, and there is a lot of reactions to what the Fed, the actions taken by federal government, right? So just keep watching the market, and I think we all will be fine. And of course, if you can, invest in alternative assets like real estate, to art, to cultural collectibles, maybe NFTs. And let me know what you guys think of this episode.
Thanks for listening to the Wealth Matters podcast. If you enjoyed it, please leave us a 5-star rating on iTunes so others can enjoy the show too. Have a great week and happy investing!